Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be very much helpful for the students who have just completed their graduation or their post-graduation, because today's video is going to be on a topic about which so many students are confused, like on which career path they should go ahead. So, if you are confused between pursuing a career in B.Ed or you should prepare for the UGC NET exam, if teaching is your passion, then this decision can shape your entire career. So, in this video, I'll help you to understand the differences, the career prospects, and which one might be the right fit for you. So let's get started and talk about which career option is best suited for you. So let's first start with the B.Ed degree, which was the Bachelor of Education. So this is a 2-year professional degree that is required if you want to teach in schools, especially the government or the CBSE affiliated schools. Okay, so to do your B.Ed, or if you want to pursue a B.Ed degree, then you must have completed your graduation. And once you can pursue your graduation in the science stream or the art stream or the commerce stream. It depends on which field, in which stream you are interested in. Okay, so once you finish your B.Ed degree, you are eligible for exams like CTET, TET, or the state level exams like the STET, which makes you fit, or which is mandatory for school level teaching jobs. So after you have done your B.Ed degree, you become eligible to teach in primary schools, that is PRT teacher, where you will be teaching from classes 1 to 5. Then you can become a secondary teacher, that is TGT, where you will be teaching from classes 6 to 10, or you can become a senior secondary teacher or postgraduate teacher, that we say, that is PGT, and where you'll be, we can say PGT is a type of junior lecturer job, and you'll have to teach in class, you will be teaching to class 11th and 12th students. Okay, so these classes, they depends on your qualification. Like for the primary teacher, you need to qualify some certain exams, and for the TGT, where you'll be teaching in the secondary schools, they require some different examination. You need to qualify some different examination, and for the PGT, you need to have a post graduation degree as well as a B.Ed degree. So it depends on your qualification, but the very base of the thing is that you need to qualify your B.Ed degree. You need to have a B.Ed degree, 2-year B.Ed degree. And after B.Ed, you will need to clear the CTET, TET, or the state STT exams for these direct government jobs. Okay, so now, as you know what is a B.Ed degree, now let's understand there are some pros and there are some cons. So let's first understand what is the pros of having a B.Ed degree. So the first pro, or the first advantage that you get if you have a B.Ed degree, that it opens doors to stable teaching jobs in schools. And the second advantage is that government school jobs come with a good salary. After salary, you'll get, after your retirement period, you'll get some pension, and the job security or the job stability that we all need at some point in life. Okay, and the third advantage is that it is great for those who love working with young minds and enjoy this structured teaching method. Okay, and the fourth advantage, that entry level opportunities are easier to access than the college teaching ones. So these are some of the advantages or the pros, we can say, after we have a B.Ed degree. So with the advantages, obviously the disadvantage is going to come. So the cons of having a B.Ed degree. If you have prepared yourself for all the advantages, you need to prepare yourself for all the disadvantages also. So the first disadvantage, I'll say, of having a B.Ed degree, that it is very limited, means limited to school teaching curriculum and routine. Means if you have done your B.Ed, you are only going to be limited for the school teaching jobs. Okay. The second disadvantage that it requires clearing multiple eligibility tests. Like I said, if you want to be a PRT teacher, the primary teacher, the TGT teacher, the PGT teacher, you need to qualify some certain examination like the eligibility test. Only after clearing some eligibility test, you will be able to appear for the government jobs, maybe PRT, maybe TGT, or maybe for the PGT exams. So it requires clearing multiple eligibility tests, CT8, T8, after you have done your B.Ed degree. So you need to have a constant, need to study. You need to study continuously to get into this government job field after the B.Ed. And the third disadvantage that career growth is very much relatively slower unless you move into the administrative jobs. Okay. And the fourth disadvantage that there is very less opportunity for research or advanced academic work. So if you have done your B.Ed degree after your graduation, then maybe you are just going to be limited in the teaching job in schools, because it is not going to open your careers in research or any advanced academic work. So these are some of the cons or disadvantages of having a B.Ed degree. Now let's talk about NET. NET is the National Eligibility Test, and this NET, it is meant for students who want to become assistant professor in colleges and universities. So to appear for NET, you need to have your, after graduation, you need to do your post-graduation. Your post-graduation is going to be of 2 years, just like the B.Ed degree. So after your post-graduation, you are going to be eligible to give this NET exam. Means after your post-graduation's first semester, you are going to be able to appear for this NET examination. So many students are there who are clearing their NET examination while they are pursuing their post-graduation, and some needed time, some needed more preparation after they after they finished completed pursuing their post-graduation. And this NET, this whole point of clearing the NET after your post-graduation, that it makes you eligible to become an assistant professor in colleges and universities. So you must, for the NET, you must have a post-graduation degree with at least 55% marks for the general category and 50% marks for the reserve category students. So qualifying NET makes you eligible to teach at the higher education level. And if you are going to qualify for JRF, at the same time you appear for your NET exam, there you can also appear for the JRF examination. When in the single exam, some cutoffs, on the base of your cutoff, you are going to be selected for the NET or the JRF. But NET, JRF, both are only one exam. Okay. It depends on the cutoff. If you are clearing the JRF cutoff, you are getting a JRF. If you are not clearing the JRF cutoff, if you are only clearing the cutoff of NET, then only you are going to become eligible for the NET exam. So as we learned that NET makes you eligible to teach at the higher education level. It makes you able and qualified, eligible for the assistant professor job. And if you are going to qualify the JRF, that is the Junior Research Fellowship, you can also get funding for research and PhD. So in short, if I'll say, NET only going to make you eligible for the assistant professor. Yes, NET, on the based on your NET score, you can appear for the PhD interviews, but you'll get a very less amount of institutional fellowship while you pursue your PhD. But if you are qualifying your JRF, that is Junior Research Fellowship, the minimum amount you are going to get through your PhD period is your fellowship is going to start from 35,000, and the government is taking certain measures, and there is so many chances that maybe the amount will increase. I think as of now the amount has increased somehow to, it has become I think 45,000, but the minimum you can keep in your mind that 35,000 you are going to get minimum as a fellowship if you are getting through your JRF into the PhD. Okay. So if you clear your net, you are becoming eligible for the assistant professor job. Also, it makes you eligible to appear for the PhD interviews, but the fellowship amount is going to be very less if you are only entering into the PhD through your net score. But if you are entering into the PhD through the JRF, if you have a JRF, then the fellowship you are going to get is going to be starting from 35,000. Okay. So these are the advantages of clearing NET and JRF. So this is what actually NET and JRF is. We are going to talk about the pros and cons just like we discussed about the B.Ed. So I think you understood what is NET and JRF. It's time we should start talking about what are the pros or the advantages if you are clearing your NET examination. So the first advantage I'm going to talk about if you are clearing your NET after your post-graduation or while you are pursuing your post-graduation, that you can become an assistant professor at college or university level, because in B.Ed we talk that if you are clearing your B.Ed degree and after you qualify some certain examination, you are becoming eligible and qualified for to teach in school level jobs. Okay, but in NET you can become an assistant professor at college or university level after you clear your NET. The second advantage is going to be that you get an opportunity to also pursue PhD and research fellowship. The third advantage is that academic prestige and higher pay scales over the period of time. The salary you are going to get, it increases over the period of time, you can say. The fourth advantage that it is like we can say that the teaching in college and university level is considered more intellectual and research oriented. You get into the research oriented environment. So the last advantage I'm going to talk about, that you don't need a B.Ed degree to teach in colleges. You only need your post-graduation degree, and after your post-graduation, you need to qualify this NET examination so that you can become eligible to teach in colleges. Now, let's talk about the disadvantages. Even after you have your NET, there are some disadvantages. Okay, NET, the first thing I'm telling you that UGC NET, clearing UGC NET does not guarantee you any job. Okay, there are certain government lectureship exams or government assistant professor exams. For that you definitely need your NET score to appear even in those exams. So for that you need to definitely, after your post graduation, if you want to be a lecturer or assistant professor, you need to qualify your UGC NET. But yes, there are some cons of the UGC NET. So this UGC NET exam is very much tough to crack, and it requires in-depth subject knowledge and regular preparation. You need to be in touch with your subject in a very regular basis if you want to clear this UGC NET. And yes, it is a bit more tougher than the B.Ed degree. Okay. So, and the second disadvantage, job vacancies for assistant professors are very competitive. Means it depends on which area you are in. So, in some states, things differ, job vacancies differ. So, it depends on the job vacancies. It is not guaranteed that if you have your UGC NET examination, if you have qualified your UGC NET examination, you will definitely get a job. It's the qualifying examination. It does not guarantee you any job. Okay, the third disadvantage that it often requires the PhD or publication for permanent college position. So even after you have your NET, maybe in some colleges or universities, you will not get considered to be eligible, because maybe there are some PhD candidates will be there. And you need to have your publication in some international journal, so that you'll have a better chance to get considered if you have a job vacancy in any college or universities. So it's very competitive environment if you have cleared NET and if you want to pursue your career in this, particularly in this lectureship or assistant professor jobs. Okay. The last disadvantage is that it's very slower initial income if you don't get placed immediately after net. So like you need to start your career from a very low amount of money. So you need to have that mental strength to handle this. If you are going to have set your foot in this academia thing, this lectureship and assistant professor job, you need to prepare yourself mentally for the every struggle you are going to face. So these are some of the disadvantages. I'm keeping it very raw and unfiltered because the problems I have faced and I am facing, and the lessons that I have learned from my mistakes, I don't want anybody to commit those mistakes. So I am trying to set everything that I have learned, what is the pros of the B.Ed degree, what is the cons of the B.Ed degree, what is the pros of the NET, the post-graduation degree after you qualify your JRF, the cons, the pros, everything. I have tried to make it very raw and unfiltered so that you should know and you should have an idea that actually in which area you are setting your foot, in which area actually you want to grow yourself. Okay, so this is all about the pros and cons of the UGC NET examination after you have done your post-graduation. And now you have an idea actually what is NET, the pros, cons, what is B.Ed, what is the pros and cons of having a B.Ed degree. Now, the big question comes, what is better for you? So, I am telling you that choose B.Ed. If you want to teach in school level students, if you want to teach the younger minds and have a structured approach to teaching, if you prefer a more structured daily routine, then choose B.Ed. And if you want a relatively quicker path to a job, then B.Ed degree is a must because it guarantee you, it is somehow you can have a more guarantee in this job section, like a quicker path to get a job. So choose a B.Ed if you want a relatively quicker path to a job. Just like B.Ed, choose NET if you are passionate about your subject and you love some academic discussion, or you want to pursue your career further in research and academic, more into academia. Okay, and you want to teach, if you want to teach adults and engage in your research with some more higher intellectual individuals, then you should prepare for NET. If you are too serious about your higher studies, your subject, if you want to go deeper into your subject knowledge, then definitely choose NET, as it opens some paths for PhD, as well as it guarantee you, it makes you eligible, actually does not guarantee, sorry, it makes you eligible for the assistant professor job. And the third thing, you choose NET if you dream of becoming a college professor or researcher. So these are the three things I'll say that I think most important. If you want to pursue your career in this field, then you need to choose NET after your post-graduation. Now the question comes, can you do both these things? Like, can you have a B.Ed degree and you can have a NET? Yes. Yes, the answer is yes, because many students, they do both. Okay, some start with the B.Ed degree and then they prepare for NET. Okay, it's not that after graduation is the minimum qualification for the B.Ed degree, but also if you want after graduation you just decided to do your post graduation, and after post graduation you decide to do B.Ed, not to give the NET exam. First you need to have another degree, then you can appear for the B.Ed, and then you can prepare for the NET, or while you are in your B.Ed after your post graduation, then also at that time you can prepare for your NET. So I'll say that some start with B.Ed and then they prepare for the NET while working, or others do NET first and later they take up a B.Ed degree to keep with school level examination. Like it opens options for the both. Okay, it is an open option for you. So your journey can be flexible. If your journey can be too flexible if you have both the B.Ed and the NET. Okay, so yes, you can do the both, and if you have time, then you should definitely do both. If you only want to pursue your career in this academic field. But if you want only to teach school students, then you choose B.Ed. And if you want to teach in only to college and university level students, and you are so much into your subject, then after post graduation you need to clear your NET. Okay, so now I'm going to put forward my personal opinion. As I said, I have learned from my mistakes. Okay, so like as I said, in B.Ed you'll get a quicker job, and in NET you have to struggle a bit. Why? As I already said, because it depends in which area you are in which area the area you are in. Let's talk about the job vacancies you have in your area. If you have cleared everything and you are just sitting ideally just because in your area you are not getting job vacancies, the job vacancies are not there, then after even you qualify all the exams, you'll have to sit idle and unemployed because there is no vacancies. Then what's the point of the qualification? So if I particularly talk about the state I am in, so I am in Odisha. I am from Odisha, and here I think the better career opportunities one can get after the graduation is they should prepare for the B.Ed degree. Even if you have your post graduation, then please do get your B.Ed degree, because here even after you clear your NET, only college level or university level, so many less amount of vacancies are there, and even if there are some less amount of seats, for the less amount of seats you have to compete very much competitive the situation gets. Okay, maybe the thing I'm going to say now will bother some people, but it is the real truth that if you have preference, if you have money, if you have contacts with some higher politicians or higher level authorities, then only you are going to get a job, or he'll be eligible for the actually the lectureship or the assistant professor job. Even if you have your NET and you don't have any preferences or the any contacts with some higher authorities or local politicians, then you are not going to get a job in college and universities level, in particularly government or let's say private also. In private, so you need more contacts if you want a lectureship job. Okay, so you need to prepare yourself mentally for the struggle if you are only considering the UGC NET option. I'm talking about my area. Okay, so I'll say that 70% people are struggling who only have NET, don't have any connection, don't have money, don't have any touch with any politicians or any other. 70% students are struggling. They are just unemployed, or they are only going to teach in some rural areas with a very low amount of salary. The potential they have is definitely getting wasted here, because it's all about politics. It's all about politics. So you need to look in which area you are in and try to mentally prepare yourself for that. Even if you want to be a lecturer or assistant professor and in your area you don't have any vacancies, then definitely go for B.Ed, then consider having a UGC NET qualification. Okay, so whether you choose B.Ed or the UGC NET, both paths lead to some meaningful career in education, but it depends on your interest. Do you enjoy shaping young minds, or you want to explore more or deep into these academic ideas? So let your passion guide your decision. That is all I'm going to say at the end. So in the end, I'm going to end this video here. So if this video has helped you somehow in anyhow, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow teaching aspirants so that they'll have no confusion anymore. And also don't forget to subscribe for more such videos on education, literature and career guidance. So I'm going to see you all in a next video. Till then, be safe and keep loving literature.